What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming Within. A little bit different this week. We're a little short-staffed. Pandemic's hitting us hard over here. This week it's just me and your boy Valyria coming at you with this week's news.
What up? What up?
I mean, without further ado, we'll get right into the intros. This week I played some Vanguard to start the week. That was this weekend. I played with Jay and my buddy Tom. Dude, it was a lot of fun. Like, I miss the days of grinding Call of Duty. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just fucking leveling up. And now they have ranked mode, which is full sweats.
Yeah.
Go in and get like really aggravated at Call of Duty. That's the mode for you.
Yeah.
So we played some ranked and then immediately switched back. And we had like a bunch of game modes selected. It was like TDM, hardpoint, search, and like slowly over time we unselected each mode.
Yep.
Until it was just
and you get down to like 2, maybe 3, sometimes even just one game mode. You're like, nah.
Yeah, we were playing strictly TDM. But they also just got the game, so they're like learning the new maps and shit. But yeah.
Oh, it's my shit though.
WoW came out with 9.2, I think it was 2 weeks ago, but this week they came out with the season 3 start, so like everything you're doing now actually counts. So I'm starting to get in all my dungeons and whatnot. Yeah, other than that, I'm not really raiding with my guild or anything, so it's just me playing solo on WoW. But that's really all I played, dude. It's short list this week. Just grinding.
Ain't near as short as mine, brother.
Let's hear it.
Elden Ring. That is all I've played since it's dropped, man.
It's that good? You liking it?
Love it.
I saw someone beat the final boss or one of like the main bosses with the Wii Fit controller or some shit like that. No,
But there's some crazy stuff, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I know I'm not going to talk too much on it now, but yeah, I'm definitely loving it because I know we're going to talk more about it later, but I'll get into it more. But
I got some time set aside for you to give us.
I am loving it. I did play a little Civ 6 with some friends, but it's mainly just been Elden Ring a lot. The chances that I've gotten to play it. Dude, I've been playing it.
I've never been a Demon or a Dark Souls like fan, and that's why I haven't played it yet. But the amount of people that are fucking playing it and talking about it, I'm like, dude, I might have to fucking just.
I think after the segment, I may change your mind on that a little bit, just because I was kind of in the same boat, but we'll talk about it later, and I think you'll end up liking it a little more.
All right. Well, some of the things we're going to touch on this week. Obviously, on Tuesday, the Race to World First starts. So, for me, that's big. That's like, I'm going to be working in the new job. I can't really tune in, but I've always watched the Race to World First. And believe it or not, Limit, one of the main guilds in WoW that's like, they've won it multiple times, and they came in second in the last race. They switched orgs to Liquid. I have no idea how I wasn't in on this, but apparently Liquid's headquarters is at Gillette Stadium. And so they're doing the Race to World First from Gillette Stadium, which is my hometown, so that's pretty cool. Also, tomorrow, the Batman drops, and people are ranting and raving.
Yeah. Whoo, yes.
IGN gave it a 10. Someone I know saw a screening of it and they fucking loved it.
It coming from IGN. That's tough. That's big.
They don't hand out
yeah, they don't give out 10s very much.
And then Epic Games bought Bandcamp. But before we get into any of that, how was your week, Valyria? How you doing?
It's been a week, man. Had my a cousin that I am very, very close to passed away the other night. So we've been dealing with that. It's been a little rough, but we're gonna make it through it. So it's all good.
I'm sorry.
We found out that our property taxes where we live has risen, and it's caused our mortgage to jump up like $400 or $500. So we have to figure that out because we went from like with our insurance and everything like $700 a month mortgage, which isn't bad, but now it's trying to be like $1,200-$1,300, and me and my wife are like, we can't afford that, and even if we could, we're not paying that. We have a 3-bedroom 2-bath house that's not worth that in mortgage. Like it's not.
What state are you in again?
Georgia.
Dude,
they got a bunch of funky laws.
I'm renting a 1-bedroom apartment in the Boston area for $900 a month.
It really doesn't, man.
Insane, dude.
It's
I could be paying my own mortgage for that. Instead, I'm paying someone else's mortgage.
It's crazy because a lot of places are like that. Compared to here, people's cost of living, like we can go 30 minutes up the road to Rome, Georgia, and a apartment half the size of our house cost $1,000 a month. I mean, granted, they're really, really nice apartments, but
yeah,
they don't. That's not including your utilities. So after your power, water, Wi-Fi, you're sitting at probably almost $2,000 a month. For an apartment, and it's crazy.
Nope. I'm sure I already told you, but we're saving up for a house, and we're probably going to be moving to like South Carolina area. So me and you are going to be neighbors.
So and you'll notice it too. The cost of living is just a lot lower.
Dude,
not that a lot of those areas are bad areas to live in or anything like that. It's just compared to like upstate New York, Boston, LA, the cost of living, like the average apartment cost is just way lower.
Dude, Boston is really bad, but New York is even worse. In New York, you pay fucking like $2,000 for an apartment, and then
a studio apartment.
Taxes are fucking up the wazoo. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're paying $1,000 for an apartment that's the size of my stream room back here.
It's crazy.
Like it's insane.
And you're right on with that. Like that's 100% a small apartment.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not a real estate podcast, but if we were, I would tell you, do not buy a house in Massachusetts. It would be the worst thing you did. But let's just start right off with the gaming news. We'll start off with, I was waiting last week. I told the pod, I said that Pokemon Day was coming up, and it ended up happening. They had a lot of announcements. One of the biggest announcements I'll just hit on first is they announced their next set of games. So I think that's like the 9th or 10th generation.
10th, I do believe.
10th? Okay. And so those are going to be called Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Which
looks nice. Yeah, I'm excited.
Trailer for it, if you want to go check it out. But they said that is coming out late 2022. So Nintendo, again,
making some big moves.
Been kind of, Nintendo's been a powerhouse as of late, and like
they've been a huge dark horse, man.
Definitely, and what they've gotten better at is like, remember Nintendo used to announce things, and then it would come out like 5 years later, and you'd be like, dude, what the fuck? I forgot all about that. Now they announce it, and it's out in the next 6 months.
Yeah, they've been so overshadowed by all the big Microsoft news, all the big company news, and have kind of flown under the radar. But what was it? Legends of Arceus just dropped not too long ago, and now they've got these coming out in late this year. That's huge for them. It's not as noticed because again they're kind of under the radar, covered up by all the other big news going on. But it's huge. They're making big moves. They're making big strides. I'm I'm impressed with Nintendo. I really am. I think they've come a long way. They've made a lot of really smart decisions and a lot of really smart moves.
Yeah, and the thing I wanted to touch on with Nintendo is right now it's Pokemon, but don't forget for the last like 2 years they were making all these other games, and like there wasn't really much Pokemon going on, and now they're gonna be able to just buy in on Pokemon for the next year, like for this year. Like they're making money on Pokemon. For the last 2 years, they weren't. They just have so many titles that they're just like pumping out. It's great.
Can't forget about Zelda.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Breath of the Wild
Yeah,
2 is supposed to come out
exactly. Yeah,
eventually. Like
they have
God.
that Kirby game. Didn't they
Yeah.
have like a few games come out recently? Like they're killing it.
Yeah. They really are.
It. You want my opinion? No new consoles anytime soon. The Switch is perfect. That's the
Yeah,
most basic
well,
thing.
I think that's kind of something across the board. I think each company has a really solid system right now, so they're less concerned about releasing consoles and instead releasing more content as far as gaming and stuff goes.
Unless you're
Because that's
PlayStation and you're just making consoles and games, and people can't even buy them.
yeah.
But yeah, it's good. They did have a few more announcements I wanted to just breeze over real quick. There's gonna be, well, already we're a little late on these. Uh, Arceus has an update already, the Daybreak update. It will have trainers investigating mysterious mass outbreaks of Pokemon that are popping up all over the world of the Hisui region. I hope I pronounced that right. They'll be able to battle powerful opponents like legendary Pokemon and Wardens, adding yet more options to the Pokemon battle experience. Players will also be able to receive 30 Ultra Balls, Gigaton Balls, and Jet Balls by entering the password Arceus Adventure in all caps in the mystery gifts menu before March 31st, 2022. Jesus, that was a tongue twister. But yeah, so if you have the game and you want that free 30 Ultra Balls, whatever, it's like 90 free balls. It's capital, all caps, Arceus Adventure in mystery gifts. So yeah, that's cool. They're updating that
Oh.
already. And then Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl trainers will be able to add Shaman, some legendary, I think, to their
Ooh,
party.
okay. That's not bad.
And then Pokemon Go will be adding Pokemon from the Alolan region. I think that's the new region. Oh wait, no, that's
Yeah.
Sun and Moon. That's Sun and
Not
Moon.
the newest region, but it's one of the new regions.
Yeah, Sun and Moon. And then I'm not even gonna go over these, but there's an update for Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Cafe, and Pokemon Unite. So if you're a Pokemon fan, it's a good time to be one. I would go check all that out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, and then real quick, I wanted to go over the New World March update. So obviously they've been keeping up with their monthly updates, which is cool. Even though I haven't been playing, I have been reading and
I haven't played an ounce of New World, man.
watching. Hold on, let me let my cat out. But yeah, so they have their March update. I'm not sure when it comes out. And to be honest, I probably won't play it, but I did read what was in it. And so obviously you're going to get the new weapon, the blunderbuss, which is speaks for itself. You know what a blunderbuss is. I don't know if you knew that, Valyria.
Didn't. Like I said, I haven't played an ounce of New World. I
Oh,
just
okay.
when I was starting to try to get into New World, it started really just dying off. So I was like, there's really no sense in trying to play it right now if it's just kind of dead.
Right.
So I'm just waiting it out to see what they do. See if it picks up and starts killing it again. Yeah, I'll jump in, start playing.
See,
But
the only reason I'm keeping a close eye is because I have an opportunity to play this game. at my new job that I started, someone there plays it, and they have an active like guild and whatever. So I've been like keeping a close eye, and I'm watching. I'm like, maybe something will happen where I'm like, all right, I'll play again. But anyways, so the blunderbuss is a ranged weapon, offers high mobility with close to mid-range damage. It's first weapon to scale to strength and intelligence, making it a good
Oh,
companion for a bruiser or a mage. So pretty much it's a gun that's going to be good for like a supporting role, if you will.
oh yeah, okay.
So not too bad, not too bad. Probably not going to make me want to play, but
I was about to say the same thing. So it's gonna have to take a little more than that
yeah,
to
yep.
pique my interest, man.
I mean, dude, I'm telling you, New World could be a good game if they do the right things, and that's why I
And it
keep a close
had,
eye on the updates because I'm like, oh,
yeah,
let's
and
see
it
what they're
had
doing.
so much potential, man. Like it started off so freaking strong on release and on launch, but then it just nothing.
For real, like it's crazy to think. I could go on and on about that, but anyways, the current main story, which I'm sure a lot of people already up to date with, but I'm not, and I'm not really paying attention to it. Anyways, it's the story of Isabella, blah, 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 blah. This new update will include the conclusion of that story. So, coming from someone who's not playing the game, I guess this is kind of a shitbag point of view, but maybe the story ends and we'll actually get like a good story that we can get into. I don't know. I wasn't really into the story. That's why I don't know anything about it cuz I'm like skipping it as fast as I can so I can just get on to the next thing. But yeah, maybe a new story will be good. So this one ends in March. And as for me, dude, let's see what the April update brings, but that's cool that they're updating things, I guess.
Yeah, at least they're starting somewhere.
I did enjoy my time on it. That's why I keep up with it. But so okay, two more quick things, and then I'm gonna give Valyria the stage. Uh, Today, actually, right now, I was just watching it. The first Call of Duty Vanguard major is this weekend. It started today, and it's in front of fans. Like for
Wow.
that's huge
No
because
cardboard cutouts.
no, if you remember, Call of Duty League started. I think they started October or November of 2019, and that December or January, February is when COVID happened and
Yeah,
shut everything down. So, Call of Duty League, in my opinion, was the most memorable. They got fucked by COVID. They were supposed to. It was gonna be huge. Like each weekend was supposed to be like in a different venue. Like it was supposed to be awesome, and they never got to do it. And so this weekend they finally return with fans in the stands, and it's in Texas.
huge.
I'm excited. It's huge. The fans were going crazy when I was watching it. Um, Hopefully, this is a sign that things are going back to normal because I can't take this shit
I am fuck.
anymore.
I'm ready, bro, for shit to be back to
I'm
normal.
getting married in November, bro. This shit better be over by then.
Yeah, it peaked about the time it was going on when me and my wife got married because we got married in November uh, of 2020. So this November will be 2 years. And it was going on there. So like, yeah, it makes it tough for
Yeah.
a lot of things.
But here in Mass today they lifted all COVID restrictions. So no more masks, no more anything. Everything got lifted today. So, but yeah, fans in the stands. If you like Call of Duty, this episode is probably going to come out when it's over. So never mind. But if you like Call of Duty, no, Call of Duty's back. Next tournament's going to be in front of fans. It's good to see. This last thing I'm going to touch on before I hand it over to Valyria is for me, it kind of hit home. I'm sure like a lot of people could give a fuck less, but Epic Games bought Bandcamp, which the reason for me it hits home is because I listen to a lot of like underground, like hardcore music and like no name shit, and those people upload their music to Bandcamp. So like whenever someone's like, "Oh, check out my band," they send you their Bandcamp, and Epic Games fucking bought it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't see
Oh,
those people
that's an
using it
odd.
anymore. To be honest,
That's an odd move.
it it's a very odd move. But Bandcamp's kind of lit because you could go through Bandcamp and find like shit that you've never heard before, and be like, "Oh shit, I like this."
But I just can't wrap my head around it. Is it a power grab? Is it something that they think they can improve, or
I think it's a good idea. Let me tell you why. I think people go to Spotify to listen to the shit they already know, right? So you go to Spotify, you probably already have a playlist set up or like a podcast that you're listening to, hopefully gaming within. But you go to Spotify for shit that you know, and I think there's no platform right now for like discovery of music, for finding new shit and like
and a company as big as Epic could have the resources to really help a lot of those artists and really help that platform grow. So I could see it being something good.
you remember Last FM
Yeah,
on Xbox? I could see it being that but better.
yeah.
I think it's a smart move because I really do. I think that there is no platform right now for like I want an app where I can go on there and be like, "Oh, this is the kind of music I listen to," and just
But
play
it
it.
has
And it
but
suggests
it has no like super well known artists on it.
right
So then you're only finding either the up and coming or the ones that are just flying under the radar, you know.
shit that I would never find on Spotify
Yeah.
because it's always gonna play Red Hot Chili Peppers or blah. It's always gonna play the big shit. You're never
Yeah.
gonna hear that underground stuff. But yeah, I do. I think that there is a market for that, and I think that that's gonna be a big acquisition. I think that's huge
Oh yeah.
because I already know a lot of people personally that use that app. We'll see. But anyways, I want to give Valeria a little bit of time to talk about Elden Ring because I'm sure a lot
Oh
of you
yeah.
people listening have been playing it, and it's unfair to you guys to not hear about it because I haven't played it. So Valeria is going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in as best as I can. But anyways, start from the top and give us your kind of, what is it, a weekend review.
So we'll start with Dark Souls. Dark Souls, super good. A lot of people played it. I mean, there was some people that didn't play it just because it wasn't their style of games. To me, they progressively got better with 1, 2, and 3. They're known for their really hard bosses, their combat style that actually takes skill. Like you can't just go in guns blazing against bosses or you're gonna get absolutely wrecked. Like you have to have a thought out plan. You have to have a specific way to tackle these bosses. Um, I think Elden Ring has taken everything good from the Souls series, Ghost of Toshima, and just slapped it all into one game.
What makes you say Ghost of... Don't make me say the name. What
There
makes you
was
say Ghost?
there was some things in there that a lot of people didn't like that they did, or they're like, hey, well, from you should do this or you should do that, and they really listened to everybody when they decided to create Elden Ring. They're like, okay, yeah, you know what? They bring up a point. Let's on this next one. Let's listen to them. Let's incorporate some of this into this game. You have probably one of the greatest stories in From Software history. George R. Martin did a unbelievable job writing the story. I mean, again, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I knew he wasn't going to let us down, but it absolutely blew my mind. Like, I just killed the first boss of the main story. I'm not even scratched the surface of the story. They typically, the way people do it is they want to go through, kill all the bosses, beat the main story. And Dark Souls, one of the things to me that it lacked was that freedom to, okay, let me wait on fighting this main story and go do something else.
It lacked
With
freedom in a way.
Yeah, with Elden Ring being really open world and having a huge, massive open world, there is so many other mini bosses, so many secrets, so many other side quests and things to do before you even touch the main storyline bosses.
So
And
that was actually one of my question to you was, have you been you haven't been just doing the main story, you've been doing everything else, right?
yeah, I've literally just been running around finding the different interesting weapons, killing a couple of the mini bosses, grinding out some levels and stuff like that. And then I'm like, okay, when I get good and ready, I'm just gonna go in and pick up where I left off of the main story and keep on trucking. And that to me, that's the glory of what makes this game so good. Is yeah, you get all these different classes, but and each one has different stats than the other, but you get the freedom that as you're leveling up, you can put more points into one specific category, like your vigor and your faith and your intelligence, and build the character any way that you want to. There's nothing in that game that holds you back from designing a character the way that you specifically want to build that character. Like
what would you compare the like the skill build, like the skill trees and shit? What game would you compare their skill?
It's kind of unique to its own thing. It's kind of a Dark Souls style thing. I mean, you've got the upgrades like your faith, your vigor, your endurance, your dexterity, just like New World has, and a lot of games that style has. But it's specific to that Dark Souls style game, so it's really, really hard to find a comparison, especially right now.
Yeah, see,
It's just
yeah.
it's super, super hard to try to find that comparison because, in my honest opinion, this game's in a league of its own right now. As far as RPGs go, this game's been one of the best that's come out in a long, long time.
So,
It's definitely one of From Software's masterpieces in a long time too.
so as far as, you know, some of the things that you're doing on the side besides the main story, what have you been enjoying the most?
So they've got kind of like some side stories that I've done. I've actually created 3 characters. I have my main, which is my confessor, and it
You just
tends
couldn't
to.
decide what you wanted to play.
Well, I kind of knew what I was going to play off the bat, but I was like, all right, let me try this class. And I played around with a couple of classes, and I was like, man, I really, really like this class. I was a little mad because they took away my. It was like a spectral, like assassin, is what I called it. They had that and another class that was in the beta and the trial, but it was so absolutely broken that they didn't put it in the original game.
Sorry to interrupt, but so when you make a character, you're selecting a class even though you're building your skill trees.
Yeah, so each class, like my confessor comes at level 10 or 8 or whatever, and you get 9 dexterity, 10 endurance, 15 faith, or whatever based on the class. Like some classes, like the warrior, the hero, and the vagabond, are going to have more in strength, dexterity, and endurance and vigor because they're more geared towards sword and shield. They're two-handed weapons. So the reason they do that is you don't have to build that character that way. They make it easier that if you decide you want to, oh, well, I'm going to two-hand, so I'm not having to spend a bunch of my runes to upgrade my characters that specific skill line, I'll pick this class because I know I'm going to go two-handed, who already has enough points into that skill that I need, so that I can worry about the other stuff. So they make each class kind of like, okay, if I know I'm going to go this way, this class makes it easier to upgrade, but you don't have to. I picked the Confessor, which had like decent stats all across the board. It was like the in-between class, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see which weapons I like first, and then I'm gonna go from there. So I got a couple of different weapons, started playing around with it, and I was like, man, I like this. This is what I'm gonna go with. This is what I'm gonna build it into. It's not the traditional route. Most everybody's building a Confessor as a paladin, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna be different because I can. And again, that's one of the things that I really, really enjoy about that game. But they also have a PvP aspect, so you get these thing called a furled finger that you can invade somebody's world, and
People.
yeah, like
What?
you invade somebody's world as a Bloodfinger and get to wreck their shit.
What the hell's a blood finger?
It's just it's one of the items in the game that you get that lets you invade their world, and that's what they call an invader, is a Bloodfinger.
I did not know this. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so I had a guy the other night. I was helping him kill this dragon. We killed the dragon.
It's co-op?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah, dude. So I'm helping this guy kill this dragon, and I got this specific weapon, and he was like, "Hey, man, do you mind if I see it?" I said, "Nah." So he picks it up and then leaves. I was like, "Oh, hell no!"
Rick rolled.
I hunted this man down using the invades and just kept killing this man over
No way,
and
dude.
over and over
That's fucking
and
great.
over till he sent me a message on Xbox like, "Bro, stop." I said, "Give me my shit. Give me my shit and I'll stop."
Was it a good item that he took?
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
fucking scumbag.
And so I was like, all right. But people do that every now and then, but it's fun. I was in the middle of a mini boss fight, and somebody invaded me, and I dead ass the guys I was playing with. I said, "Hang on, let me turn around and clap this guy real quick." I turned around, used my sorcerer ability on my staff, and one shot the dude. And I said, "Okay, now back to business." And they're like, "What the fuck?" And I said, "Oh, homie over there was trying to invade us while we were fighting this boss fight. Little did he know he was about to get wrecked." And it's just awesome because so you get the ability to put these summoning signs down and can have people help you fight bosses, just explore the area and just kill random enemies. You don't get as much, like you can't ride your horse in co-op. You can't, because you're kind of supposed to technically stay in that area, but the areas are so big, but you get help. Like you don't have to do it by yourself. You can fight bosses. And everybody, like you can't loot and get major weapons off of it, but you can get the runes, which is what you use to upgrade, and you can get some of the stuff. So you get something out of helping other people kill bosses and stuff. And like right now, for those that may not know, there's an exploit on one of the dragons. It's the white dragon at Fort Faroth. That if you have a blood weapon, a blood loss, you can kill it and get 75,000 runes, and the dragon does not attack you.
Is this a glitch?
I don't know what it is, man. I was just riding my horse along, and what I normally do, I hit literally everything I walk by, because they've got hidden areas that are hidden behind false walls that you have to hit in order to discover it. And so I go around hitting everything, and I hit this dragon and saw it took damage, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, it's not attacking me. So I kept hitting it. About a minute later, it dies and then kills all the dragons around it. And next thing I know, I'm sitting on a mother load of runes, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But then I noticed it doesn't respawn. So then I was like, wait. And so I started looking some stuff up, and what people are doing is they're jumping in games with their friends and all killing it together on each other's. Like you have to have a different host. So like if I hadn't killed it yet, I host a game. Then we kill it. Everybody gets all the ruins. Then we
Can
go
you
on
only kill
somebody
it one
else's.
time ever?
Yep.
What?
Oh, you can change characters. Like I can jump on my other characters and kill it and get the runes and stuff like that. And
But this
but
game is not an MMO. It's single player. You can just do co-op things.
yeah, it's not like massively multiplayer,
Yeah.
but it's got a PvP. It's got a multiplayer aspect on it
I like that.
that is unique to its type of game. Like it's really hard once you understand how the multiplayer works, using and summoning signs, where to use them. It actually makes it a lot of fun because then you're not having to just do everything by yourself, which is huge to me because a lot of that content in that game is very fucking hard. And if you're not a seasoned Dark Soul vet, you're gonna be turned away the first time you get absolutely shit on by one of the bosses, and you're like, "Fuck, am I supposed to do here?" And again, going back to that, being able to do other stuff before you do that, that's why I like it. Because you could level your character up to max level if you wanted to, and then just run through everything and be like, all right, well, I'm about to one-shot everything here because I can.
All right, we gotta
It's
speed up a little bit.
yeah,
I
but
do
it's
have an article, one last article for you
yeah,
on Elden Ring, though.
okay.
This is what I was telling you earlier. I wasn't joking. So this is an IGN article written by Logan Plant.
Okay.
It's the title says Elden Ring player defeats boss using Ring Fit controller on the first try. So,
I gotta check that out. Yo, people been doing some wild stuff, man. Like it's insane. People the shit they've discovered, the things that they've been doing, it's definitely impressive. Again, if you haven't played it or you're contemplating playing it, definitely give it a try. It's so good.
yeah. Apparently, the reason why it's funny, I'll just breeze through a little bit. It says, From Software fans are on a different level, known for beating games like Dark Souls with banana controllers, Donkey Kong bongos, and more.
Yep.
Naturally, players are already experimenting with unique playstyles for Elden Ring, with one fan taking down a boss using Nintendo's Ring Fit Adventure controller. Real quick, if you're unfamiliar, Ring Fit Adventure is an exercise game on the Nintendo Switch using a controller called the Ring-Con. This is all from IGN.com. Now, Super Lewis 64, the very streamer who beat Dark Souls with bananas, has defeated a boss in Elden Ring using the Ring Fit controller mod.
Yep.
So, yeah. Obviously,
You've got to look up
that's fucking great, dude. I gotta see.
You got to look up the bongos one where he beats where the guy beats Dark Souls using Donkey Kong bongos.
That's great.
That's just wild.
I gotta see it. All right, let's breeze through movies and TV real quick to get to the top 5. So, there was a new trailer for Fairly Odd Parents. I guess they're remaking the show, and I saw Timmy Turner as like a full grown ass man, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I am not watching this. But
Yeah,
I will say,
I
dude,
know.
I can't wait for the Whoa, what is it, dude? What's the dude with the tall ass hat? Fucking from Fairly Odd Parents, you know who I'm talking
Dog
about?
Dimmadome.
Oh yeah, Doug Dimmadome. I can't wait to see him come back. Dude. That's the only thing I care about. But them bringing back these like old Nickelodeon shows, please stop. Please stop.
Yes. You're making me feel old as shit.
Yeah, it's
2,
uncomfortable as fuck.
you're ruining something. You're changing stuff that didn't need to be fucked with.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it makes me feel old as shit. So another thing, I wish Seth was here to talk about this, but Funimation and Crunchyroll. So Crunchyroll bought Funimation a while ago, and Funimation, and I think it's VRV. All their stuff is
All the
finally now on Crunchyroll. So even though Funimation is still online and up right now, it won't be for long.
I told you it was gonna
It's a
happen.
slow change. Yep. I mean, yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. I thought, I don't know why I was so naive to think this. I'm like, oh, what name are they gonna take? I'm like, obviously, if Crunchyroll just spent all this fucking money to buy Funimation, they're gonna keep their name. I don't know
Yeah.
why I didn't think about that before.
But it's kind of awesome because then you get everything right on
Right. First
one
day
point.
I went on and I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
And hopefully they keep each other's resources because the thing is like Funimation would have some animes that Crunchyroll didn't. VRV would have some that neither one of them didn't.
Yeah.
And that was what was kind of annoying is because if you wanted to watch certain animes, you almost had to have all three. So if
Right.
they're all under one roof, now all you have to have is one.
So I will tell you that that is gonna happen. They got all their
Oh yeah.
contracts. But here's what here's my predicament, and obviously I'm sure a lot of people are going to be mad at me for this, but a lot of people will also be like, yeah, I agree. Are we going to lose our Funimation dubs? Because that's why I
Yeah,
have Funimation.
Funimation was the king of
Everything's
dubs.
dubbed. Everything's dubbed. I will say I went on Crunchyroll and I pulled up a couple of Funimation animes and they had the dubs on there. So as of right now, we're good. Let's hope it stays that way. But
What
that's pretty
that
cool.
Crunchyroll subscription gonna cost now though?
Better not fucking change.
Because it was
We didn't
kind
tell
of
you to buy Funimation.
it was kind of pricey to begin with, but now you got to think they're gonna own more, so they're gonna be like, well,
Yep.
they might be like, let's
Listen,
up the price on it.
Valyria, I know you don't need to hear it from me, but at this point in the world, in our lives, I wouldn't be fucking surprised if the price goes
Me
up.
neither, bro.
Okay,
Me fucking neither.
Netflix is $20 a month. I just paid
God,
$4 a gallon for gas.
hell no.
$3.99. I just paid today for gas.
$3.79 here.
$3.99. If you want to tell me Crunchyroll is gonna go up in price, I'd be like, oh, I'm not surprised at
I
all.
bet.
Biden's America. Anyways, real quick, I want to save the best for last, so let me hit this first. All the Marvel Netflix shows, so like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, what the fuck, Iron Fist, Luke Cage,
Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield, they're all moving to Disney Plus. Which, for the average listener, viewer, whatever, they're probably like, "Oh yeah, it makes sense, cool." For me, I'm like, "Okay, that's sick. Are they gonna start making them now?" Because the reason they stopped making them was because of like Disney and like all the acquisitions they were going through, and like they made those Netflix shows at a weird time where
Yeah.
Disney had just made Disney Plus, but those shows had already come out. So now with all those shows moving to there,
Yeah,
I
it would
could
be
see
awesome
them
to see a
restarting
lot.
those
Yeah,
shows. That would be sick.
especially a lot of them. A lot of the newer ones that only had like 2 or 3 seasons that you're like, okay, why didn't they continue this? I think would be awesome to see a lot of them come back.
I was a huge fan of those shows. So when they stopped making a lot of them, I actually looked into it. And even the actors were like, "Oh yeah, they just didn't call us back for another season." And
Yeah,
that's what leads me to believe that it was just like, you know, why is Disney gonna re-sign with Netflix when they're literally putting out Disney Plus? And so it was
yeah,
kind of like a weird time frame for them.
and it kind of put with them owning Marvel. It kind of put Netflix at a standstill. They're like, we can't just make more stuff without asking Disney.
Right.
So it kind of put them at a standstill on if they wanted to make stuff, they couldn't unless Disney gave the okay on it. So I
Did you
think it's
watch those
a
shows?
wonderful. Oh, I've watched every Marvel one that was on Netflix.
So you agree none of those shows ended or are over. Like they could
Yeah,
just pick
well,
right.
like some of the older ones, like Agents Marvels of Shield,
See that
technically
one, I
did.
didn't I didn't really watch that one. I'm mostly talking about like the Netflix stuff,
Yeah.
like Daredevil.
So yeah, Daredevil.
Like they could just pick
They
right
could have
back
done
up.
more. A couple of them they could have done more. Jessica Jones, Luke
Dude,
Cage.
Iron Fist was so
Uh,
good.
yeah, Iron Fist, and then what's the one where he teams up with some other people? It's like they're
Oh, it was all of them together. I forget what it was.
yeah, that one was one that I was really surprised didn't go further. It just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest ones that I'm kind of like, man, I want to see that go off. Iron Fist, definitely would love to see some more of those come out.
What I hope this means is like, don't get me wrong, I love like the shows about Captain America and about like the main superheroes, but the whole idea of Disney Plus is now you can make like an 8-episode series about a superhero that nobody fucking knows about.
Yep.
And that would be fucking awesome. Right?
Put somebody else under the spotlight for a little
like,
bit.
You know, you want to talk about theaters and putting movies into theaters? Yeah. You know, you got to use your Iron Mans and your Spider-Mans. That's what brings in the money. But you can't tell me that you can't make a cheap TV series about like some random superhero to
Silver.
Quicksilver.
Yeah,
That's what I was fucking thinking. That's so weird,
how
dude.
many?
That's
How many? We've only seen him twice in movies, and that's it.
And you can make
get
quick, like cheap little series, and all of a sudden,
at least
people
give
like
us
Quicksilver,
backstory.
and now you can make a movie about him.
Not a lot of people know, unless you're a big comic book nerd. Not a lot of people know his backstory. Not a lot of people know what's going on with him and stuff. So yeah, like making a 1 season thing, just kind of giving his backstory and stuff like that would be pretty cool with a lot of different Marvel heroes.
And if it doesn't work, oh fucking well.
Yeah, who the fuck cares?
Fucking shit that didn't work.
Yeah, like who the fuck cares?
I think this is a good time to segment from superhero to superhero, and we can touch on real quick. Tomorrow, the Batman comes out, and it's already received very high praise. IGN gave it a 10. I know someone who's already seen it, and even though you might be saying to yourself, "Oh, another Batman movie," my inside source has said that it's found its own place in the Batman universe. In that,
most definitely.
Even though maybe you didn't need to go and make a Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, it worked, and it's not a waste. And so, for me, hearing that, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. I've seen every Batman movie in theaters.
Me too, and I was the biggest skeptic, man, when I heard that Robert Pattinson was playing Batman. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, me
too. I was like, why did they get this dude to play it? And dude, I seen a trailer, and I was like, oh shit.
It's a dark take.
Yeah. It kind of falls in... Yeah, it kind of gives you a different outlook on the whole of Batman, man. It
makes sense for him though. He's a vigilante.
Yeah.
And like, if you really want to portray that, like they try, like don't get me wrong, The Dark Knight is probably the last best superhero movie I've ever seen. And they tried to make him seem kind of dark. Like, remember when like pretty much they were like, oh, if you do that, like we're not with you anymore. I forget if that was Batman Begins or whatever, but that's not dark. That's just pretty much being like, oh, you're gonna be a vigilante if you do that. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and then he does that. But like in this movie, like they show you that he's a vigilante. If this had been the Batman that was like coming out when I was a kid, I don't think my parents would have let me see it. That's what I'm hearing, at least. I haven't seen it. I'm just saying it's that
from the trailers I've watched. Like, yeah, it looks dark. It looks so good though.
So good. It looks so good. I think I'm gonna go see that. But like, the fan in me cannot go see that knowing that I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. And I know
I can.
Don't kill me. but I haven't seen like Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, and I'm gonna go
I
see.
haven't seen I haven't seen Spider-Man yet.
Oh,
I
I thought
love
you have.
Spider-Man. I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. I haven't seen the newest Spider-Man movie. I just
Yeah,
haven't got around to it.
I haven't
But
seen
I'm
it either.
going to see this Batman movie. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I need to see it, dude. Looks so fucking good. But I think that's it for movies and TV. Actually, real quick, I just wanted to say that this week, me and my fiance have been trying to smash out the whole 1883 series. The one, it's like a prequel to Yellowstone. I don't know if you've heard anything about those shows, but we haven't
Haven't.
watched Yellowstone. But I've obviously heard good things. And then I heard 1883 was coming out, and I heard it was a prequel. And I'm really weird where, like, if there's a prequel to a movie, I have to watch it first. And so once I found out that that was coming out, I'm like, okay, I'll watch that. So what 1883 is I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but it's pretty much a group of people migrating from east to west United States in the late 1800s. So,
Okay.
Western civilization, like in the prime of that.
Yeehaw.
Cowboys, yep. Dude, I will say this is the best series I've watched since Breaking Bad.
Damn, don't say that.
Hands down.
Don't say that.
It is so
God, I don't need
fucking
another
good.
series to watch right now.
I will say the last episode was a little bit corny, but that's one out of like 8 episodes that I watched. There's only 10 episodes. I don't know if there's going to be a season 2, but god fucking damn it, dude. This show is so good.
Vikings, the new Vikings is out.
Yeah, the prequel to that, yeah.
Yeah, that came out I
I'm going to have
think
to watch that.
Monday, and it's pretty good.
I liked Vikings.
Oh yeah, I fucking loved it. I watched every episode of that.
But yeah, so as far as I know, this show's been out for a while, so it's whatever, spoilers. If you don't want to hear it, don't stop now. Anyways, the only character, as far as I know, that's in this show, that's also in the next show, is the family, the main family, their baby boy. His name is John. He's the main character in Yellowstone, and he's a fucking badass. And then in this show, he's like a 4-year-old boy, and they picked the cutest little fucking kid to play him. And the whole time I'm like, John's so cute. And I just like always remember like the videos I've seen on Twitter of John just like mutilating people, like killing people. I'm like, damn.
It's like, damn, what happened?
That cute ass little kid. God damn. But yeah, I mean, that's it for me. Like I don't have much time for TV and movies, but I'm glad that we've been adding a movies and TV segment into the pod each week.
I agree.
All right, we're back. We're gonna do our top 5 this week, which is top 5 apparel brands. But first, next week we're doing top 5 YouTube channels. That is Jay's request. Even though he's not here, he had requested that one a couple of weeks ago. So next week we're doing top 5 YouTube channels. This week, top 5 apparel brands. This one's gonna be quick. It's just me and Valyria. But this was my pick. This was, I picked apparel brands, so I'm excited for this one. I'll let you go first. What's your number 5?
Number 5 is Grunt Style.
What is that? Grunt Style?
It's the different like veteran shirts. You see the stuff with like the blue line flags and all this stuff with military. I've got a couple of like veteran owned stuff that's in my top 5.
Okay.
I like a lot of their shirts, man. They've got some nice like tactical jackets.
These could be good for me to pick up for work now that I'm working in the weather. But yeah. Um, my number 5 is it's an outdoor company too. It's LL Bean.
Oh man, LL Bean's a OG.
OG. I just got into LL Bean like last year.
Bro, I
I don't
used to
know if
get
you know.
LL Bean as a kid, bro.
Yeah, I know. Every- They're the ones that had the backpack with the initials on it, right?
Yep, I had the
Yeah, dude.
LL.
Everybody
I
had
had one
that
of those
shit.
as a kid. I had
Every,
an LL Bean backpack as a kid.
everybody had that shit. I was too broke to have one, dude. But I remember that shit. Everybody, they had their
They
fucking.
weren't really expensive for us. I mean, most of the kids that I went to school with were all rich kids, and they had even better. But like, you were like middle of the road, working class family. You had an LL Bean backpack most of the time. Or most of the time, we found them at like a thrift store. You know.
You get that would have been my luck, dude. I'm surprised I didn't have an LL Bean backpack with someone else's initials.
Mark it out with a Sharpie.
That would have been something my mom would have done. But all right, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Nine Line. Again, it's a veteran-owned company. They make mainly shirts and sweatshirts. I have one of their shirts that I was actually wearing the other day that says Till Valhalla.
You should have brought a couple shirts in here.
Yeah,
To
I
show
did think
us.
about it. I have quite a few. Um, I shop there a lot.
Is it online only?
You can buy them. Some stores sell them. Like, there's a store in Rome here that sells both Grunt Style and Nine Line. So I'll hop over to that store. They sell,
I'm looking them up right now. Let me see.
they
Right now, I'm looking up
sell
Grunt Style.
coffee and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, Grunt Style's got some pretty dope.
Speaking of military and coffee, have you heard of Black Rifle coffee?
Not getting to that yet.
Huh?
I said I'm not getting to that yet. I'm wearing a Black Rifle Coffee Company hat, my guy.
Are you really?
Yes.
Dude, Alright, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but when the time comes, I want to fucking talk about something. But, so my number 4 is gonna express the basic bitch in me, but it's Levi's. I've always just been a
Levi's.
Levi's guy. People, my grandmother, my aunts are like, "Oh, what kind of jeans you want for Christmas?" Oh, Levi's. And it's just always been what I've worn. Levi's. It's, sorry to be a basic bitch, but hey, that's my number 4. It's always done me right. Levi's. What's your number 4?
Or number 3
Oh, number 3.
would be Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Surprise, surprise. I'm sorry if I blew up your
They
spot
make
there.
they make coffee, they make shirts, they make all kinds of stuff, man. I I love their coffee. I've drunk their coffee. God, so many work days
That's what I was
that
gonna
their
get
coffee's
into.
gotten me
Is
through, bro.
I heard about them. They sponsor podcasts, believe it or not. But
Yeah, I've actually looked into trying to get sponsorship for on Twitch from them and some other stuff. So yeah, they do some stuff. So
their
it's
coffee's good though. It's the same price as
their
regular coffee.
coffee's banging, man. It's strong. Like I think their like cold coffee that you can buy at a gas station has like 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, so I was talking like the shit you can order online, like the K cups and stuff, because
Yeah,
it's the same
you've got
price. Like
it.
coffee's so expensive in stores now that it's the same price to just order it from
They've
them
got
online.
some that kind of appeals to everybody. I love it. They've got like some really robust coffee, which is what I really really like. And they've got the caramel one that's my favorite. I've got some that you can make a whole pitcher of. It's like making tea, but it's coffee. If you put too much water in it, it sucks. But if you put just the right amount of water in it, man, that stuff's good. You can just pour you a glass of it, I poured in my little tumbler and hit the road most mornings.
I'm definitely gonna have to try it out. At least
They've got some
put it
good
in order.
ones. Some of them are better than others. Like that's anyway with any coffee company. There's gonna be some that you just really don't like, but they've got a little bit of something for everybody. Is the way I like to do it. Plus, they're a big supporter of the veterans, the Wounded Warrior Project. They it's veteran owned and operated, uh, so you know your money's going to a good place.
So my number 3, I had one picked out, but I'm gonna switch it out because the brand that I'm gonna pick recently, like about last year, I just started wearing this. I wear their like quarter zip hoodies, not hoodies, quarter zip sweatshirts when I golf. I wear their flannels when I work. So I couldn't leave them out, and I have to substitute this company out. But my number 3 is Wrangler.
Mm, yes.
Their shit is so warm, bro. So warm. Just got on it. I only got 2 things by them, but I will say both of them I really like. The one I subbed out, which normally I don't do this, but I will let you guys in on it. I subbed out Ray-Bans. I was gonna do Ray-Bans because the last 2 pairs of sunglasses I had was by them, but I'm going Wrangler. 3 Wrangler.
Hey, not bad.
What's your number 3?
Oh,
Two. I'm gonna do
mine. My number 2. It was a tough decision because man, I had a couple battling for those top spots, but I had to get away from clothing per se and go more towards some other stuff. So I went with Oakley as my number 2. I'm very, very picky.
In the same
I'm
spot.
very, very picky when it comes to my sunglasses, and I've liked what Oakley's brought to the table.
Oakley is really good.
They're not crazy, crazy. I mean, you can get up there in price on their sunglasses,
Yeah,
but you can find some good pairs for some really good deals. Sometimes you got to know when to look and where to look, but a lot of times you can find some on sale and get them for a steal, and they're definitely worth it.
a lot of the guys I work with got Oakleys, so if that says anything, I've never had a pair.
Yeah.
But I know they're fucking good.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Champion.
That was fighting for my 2 spot, man.
I just love. I mean, nothing I can say, dude.
But see, and God, that is a good pick because again, thinking back, like when you said LL Bean, when you were in school, if you were Champion, all the rich kids had Nike, Under Armour, and your middle class working families or your families that weren't
What Valyria
rich.
is trying to say is, if you had Champion, you were a broke ass bitch.
Yeah, but you were the real OGs. Now look, Champion. Everybody wants Champion.
Now look at Champion, but like back then they'd be like, look at this fucking kid wearing fucking Champion, dude. Do your mom buy you those? Yeah, I'm fucking.
Fuck
12,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Of course my mom
Fuck
bought me
yeah,
those.
she did.
But yeah, you're right, dude. Champion was fucking looked at and laughed at, and now it's like.
But now it's they're solid, man. I love
like
a lot
now,
of their
like,
products.
bands and like these people are like making their merch through Champion. I don't know if you heard of Premier Lacrosse League. They're like
Yeah,
a new lacrosse league. They just signed with Champion. They're gonna be doing.
yeah. A lot of sports teams have deals with Champion, man. It's crazy.
But all right, without further ado, let's hear your number 1 clothing brand.
My number 1, again, it was kind of tough. It was a lot of things fighting for that top spot, but I had to go with something that I wear a lot of. I wear it almost, as a matter of fact, I have something on right now of them, my shoes. and that's Adidas, man.
I like it.
Adidas is another one of those brands that was kind of for a while, and it just really just took off to be. To me, I prefer them over Nike. I prefer them over Under Armour. Adidas just has a lot of good stuff, a lot of good stylish stuff. I have like 4 or 5 pairs of Adidas shoes.
Dude, there was a point where like Adidas was really popular, and then at one point it took a dip, and then
Yep.
their fan base just attached onto them, dude, and they just took off.
And now a lot of pro players are getting shoe deals with them. Like, yeah, it's
They're doing just fine now. They're gonna be around for a while. But that's a good pick. My number one is also a shoe company. This is probably fucking not gonna be a very popular pick, but I've been wearing these shoes since I was fucking 13, and then I got into the hardcore scene, which, come to find out, I didn't realize it, but everybody in that scene wears these shoes, and I was like, oh shit,
I
look
think
at
I
that,
know
I
what
already
you're
fit
going
in. My number one pick is Vans.
I fucking knew it. You basic bitch.
It will always be my number one pick.
I
Don't make
fucking
me go
knew
get
it.
my 30 pairs of Vans out there, dude. I don't wear
Fucking
anything
knew
else,
it.
bro.
I was a
Reason being
DC.
is
I
like,
was a DC kid.
dude, my parents would get me Vans because they were fucking $20 at Payless.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Vans blew up, and now they're fucking $65 a pop. But never fucking forget the days where Vans were fucking $25 at Payless.
Yeah.
Don't act like we don't.
Shit was
remember.
dirt fucking cheap, bro.
And now they're like, oh, the Vans store. Here's our Vans boots for $350. I'm like, get the fuck out of here,
Okay.
bro. I used to have people sign my Vans.
Did you have any honorable mentions?
I did. I had a couple.
Anything that
honorable
was
mentions. Hanes is a big one because I wear undershirts every fucking day.
Hanes can't. People sleep on Hanes, man.
Dude, what? Like, you ain't getting a better undershirt. And I don't know why. I have this weird thing. Like, I don't like shirts touching my skin unless it's my undershirt. So I wear an undershirt and then I wear my shirt. Call me fucking weird, whatever. But that's my honorable mention because I wear one every day. I'd be crazy not to mention Hanes. And then, let me think. Mitchell and Ness. They always made good sports hats. What's that boot company? Timberland. And then I think that's it for honorable mentions for me. Fruit of the Loom. I wear their underwear every day. But yeah. What about you? You got any honorable mentions?
A couple. 511 Tactical.
Now that
they're
one sounds familiar.
they're huge. They make everything from tactical gloves, vests, backpacks, hats, shirts, you name it. They probably freaking have it. They can be rather expensive. That was kind of what knocked them out of my top 5 spot, but I still love a lot of their stuff. I have a pair of boots from them. And then I had Converse as an honorable mention.
That's a good one. I thought about putting that there.
I had Converse as a kid. I went through a phase, but it was just one of them things that I wasn't super crazy about having to have the Chuck Taylors or anything like that. I just never was super crazy about it. So I was like, it's really not worth my top 5, but it's still a solid pick. They do still make some good stuff. I still like some of their shoes.
Yeah, like coming from the hardcore scene, it was Vans or Converse. So that for me, I always wore the Vans, but Converse almost made it in just based on that.
I remember I got out of the Converse scene for a while, and then I started looking in. And I was like, I might get me another pair of Converse. I haven't had none in years, and I started looking at them and I was like, man, like when you were saying you could buy the Vans for like $20, I remember when I could buy a pair of Converse for $20, and when I started looking them back up,
Even
I was like,
even cheaper.
yeah, I was like, why am I? I said, what are these Chuck Taylor Converse that are like $400 fucking? What is this shit?
It's ridiculous. What the fuck did I just think about that I was gonna say? Damn, I can't think about it. Oh well. But anyways, you got anything else to add?
Nah, man, that's gonna do it for me.
All right. That'll do it for me too. So next week we're gonna do our top 5 YouTube channels. Um, Hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll have a full crew next week. This week, if you're listening, thanks for hanging out this long. We're sorry that, we're a little short-handed this week, but life happens. We're not always going to be 4 people. Sometimes we might be 5, sometimes we might be 6, sometimes it might be me telling you that there's no episode this week. But listen, we're grateful that you come out here and listen to us each week.
Very.
That's not going to change. So no matter how many of us are here, we will be here each week. And that I can promise you. Take it from me. I will be here recording by myself if I have to. So
Somebody will be here.
somebody's going to be here. It might be me saying we'll see you next week. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out. We are going to work together as a group. Seriously, I'm not just saying it this time. We're going to work together as a group over the next 7 days, so a week or so, and we're going to decide on a day to do our live stream on the podcast channel. So look forward to that. I got no details right now. Like I said, we're going to come together as a group, talk about it. Lots of things on the horizon. I feel like I say that every week, but I mean it. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Thank you, Valyria, for keeping me company for this
Hey, no
last hour.
problem.
And we'll see you guys next week.